Welcome to today's lesson under Application Areas of ICT, dear learner, part 2. We had talked about others in part 1 that you can still check on this channel that was posted earlier. This is your teacher Omar Adam, and let's get started. We shall basically visit two areas today, that is reservation systems and retail systems, of which the first part will comprise of hotel booking and also travel agencies, while the second part we shall mention something on the EPOS and also stock control. Welcome. But before we proceed, I still remind you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and not just subscribing but also click on the notification bell or button so that you are able to be notified in case new content is added anytime in the channel. Without wasting any more time, let's talk about reservation systems. A computer reservation system, or sometimes called a central reservation system, SRS, CRS, is a web-based software that is used by travel agencies and travel management companies in order to retrieve and conduct transactions which are related to air travel, hotels, car rentals, and other activities. Actually, these systems were originally designed to be used by airlines, but later was extended to be used by travel agencies and also what we call the Global Distribution Systems, the GDS, for the purpose of booking and selling tickets for multiple airlines. The main objective of reservation systems was to make a one-stop service shop and eliminate the physical and geographical distances between the providers of these services and their consumers. So meaning that the customer doesn't need to travel to the physical location of these companies, but these transactions can be done online by use of ICT. The first one that we shall look at are hotel booking systems, and I still remind you that if I'm too fast, you can be able to pause the video, you can rewind, you can also forward as you wish, so that you are able to properly capture the content and also make notes effectively. Booking a hotel reservation system is just a software that is used in the hotel industry for the management of room inventory or just rooms, the rates at which these rooms are sold, and also carry out issues of booking. A potential guest contacts a hotel for availability of the desired type of accommodation or any other services that the hotel offers. After which, the front office department of that hotel reacts to the inquiry that has been made by the guest. For the side of the guest, this reservation increases the chances of having a better deal for assured accommodation on arrival. So this means that before this guest is able to physically arrive or reach where this hotel is, they are assured of accommodation. On the side of the hotel, the reservation can enable a better management of guest experience during and as well as during the peak seasons. Reservation procedures varies depending on the size and type of hotel and the reservation system that has been used. One of the advantages of this reservation system or the hotel booking system is that it reduces paperwork, and on top of it, it can also handle large amount of reservation data with little effort. This system also helps to make guest reservations much easier, and also it enables the hotel to forecast on how many accommodations can be reserved in an upcoming time or period. Remember, in some areas, for example, in Kenya here, in the coastal area, if you look at the hospitality industry, such as hotels, it is a business that is a bit seasonal. So using this system, then the hotel can use the data in this system, analyze it, and be able to make future predictions so that they are better prepared for the guests that are expected during any particular season. Let's talk about airline booking or airline reservation. And on the screen here you can see there is a snapshot of a software that a customer uses to book an airline. An airline reservation system, or what we call the ARS, is a system, or they are systems that allow an airline to sell their inventory. Now, in the airline industry, these inventories are seats. It contains information on schedules and fares, and contains a database of reservations. So when I talk about reservations, what I mean, the passenger details, and also of the tickets that have been issued, if any. So I've said that in the airline industry, available seats are commonly referred to as inventory. Now, this inventory, or the inventory of an airline, is generally classified into classes. For example, you can book an economy class, the premium economy, business class, first class, and so on, to which different prices and booking conditions may apply. The price of each sold seat is determined by a combination of the fare. For example, the fare will depend on which class, for example, and also the booking conditions that are stored in this system. The fares data store, or the records on fares, contains the fare tariffs, the rules that apply, the routing maps, and also the class of that particular service that you have selected. Now, one of the importance of the airline reservation systems is that it shoots up the sales of an airline company and gives it a competitive advantage. The primary reason for choosing a flight reservation system is to increase the number of bookings of the flight ticket. Let's talk about travel agencies. And on the screen here you can see there is a picture here of a Madaraka Express train. This is the SGR train that is used here in Kenya. On the right hand side you can see also there is a snapshot from software for ticket booking from the bus company Easy Coach. You can see this is a bus that plies from Nairobi to Mumias. You can see here the fare per person is 1,450 shillings. You can also see here there is an image or a layout of the seats in that bus, whereby you can see it has been indicated by use of different colors. This orange is the seats that are available. The green are already selected, and then this gray already booked. So this green could be selected but not booked already, and so on. So it is used by this bus company to allow customers to book or reserve specific seats. The travel booking system has made the traveler's life simple and hassle-free. It is possible with the aid of this system to book a travel within minutes. So that's why we say that without much hassle or bustle. It simplifies the booking process for you. So if I say you, it means the company and your customers. How? By automating transactions such as customer data, updating booking information, payments, scheduling, and many others. It also helps to keep customers on your website so they can see the choices available and book the one they need without switching among different sites and services, or without having to make phone calls. Like you can see here, for example, this snapshot of this software gives me as a passenger that freedom of selecting the specific seat that I want on this bus on a particular schedule or on a particular date. Let's talk about the second application area, which is the retail systems. Now, in retailing, computers are used to do clerical activities such as wages and salaries, recording physical movements of goods into stores, warehouses, and also in transit. Not forgetting monitoring progress on purchase, doing accounts, and many other activities that are associated with retailing. Under retailing, we shall look at two areas. The first one is what we call the EPOS, or what we call the electronic point of sale. The EPOS system is a combination of EPOS hardware and EPOS software that provides an efficient business operation. With an EPOS system, a store owner or a shop owner or a retail store owner can process and track sales and other procedures much more easily. He can also get a better understanding of how his business performs with much ease. An EPOS system can also be connected to an e-commerce website so as to provide customers, or those customers that are geographically far away, with information or with seamless stock information and shopping experience. So by that interconnection, it is also expanding that customer scope, so that this particular store is also able to attend to customers who may be geographically distanced from their physical location. The EPOS system, I've said that it's a combination of the EPOS hardware and the EPOS software. Let's look at the EPOS software. The EPOS software is the key to successful retail management. It is therefore essential to have an EPOS software that suits your business needs. Some of the features of this software may include the following, now depending on the specific needs of your business. The first one, this software could be having a feature for stock control and tracking. Another one, it can also have a module for purchase and order processing. On top of it, promotions and discount. And also another one that I had mentioned earlier, integration with an e-commerce website. Remember, we have said that this is one way of expanding your customer base so that you are able to serve those customers who may not be there physically or at a physical proximity that allows them to come to the shop, but they can transact by e-commerce. Let's look at the second component of this EPOS system, is the hardware or the EPOS hardware. Again, depending on specific needs, each business may wish to have different EPOS hardware components. However, the core, the main hardware components comprises of a screen, or what you call a terminal screen, a keyboard, and a mouse. Just a standard screen, a keyboard, and a mouse. Additionally, EPOS hardware components may or may not include the following. The first one is the cash drawer. The cash drawer, this one is a lockable metal drawer that stores cash. The EPOS system controls whom and when a cash drawer is opened, and therefore it reduces the possibility of employee theft. So meaning that maybe it depends on which user is able to be identified or logged in by the system so that this drawer can be opened or closed, and at which particular times. Another component is what we call the receipt printer. I think you can see it here on the screen where my mouse pointer is. It's a printing device that is used to create a record of customers' transaction. Usually these receipt printers, as we discussed in a lesson earlier on output devices, this is mostly a thermal printer that is used to produce draft copies such as receipts. Additionally, we can also have what we call a barcode reader or a barcode scanner, and this one also we had talked about it in a lesson earlier when we were discussing input devices. A barcode scanner is an electronic scanner that reads barcodes. Remember, barcodes are those lines of varying thicknesses that are used to store coded information on details of items in a retail store. So it reads barcodes in order to identify product details on the EPOS system. There are different types of barcode scanners, but the most common are the handheld and what you call multi-line scanners. Multi-line scanners can read barcodes from different angles, which in turn speeds up the process. They are ideal for places with high volume of transactions. On the other hand, handheld barcode scanners are used where there is a smaller volume of transactions. Now here you can see where my mouse pointer is. This is a handheld barcode scanner. This one is a cash drawer. I think I've talked about that one. And then we also have got a device called the PDQ terminal. It's a device that accepts credit card payments. Sometimes we use keyboards that have got this extended feature where it has a slot where you can swipe these credit cards. Remember that we have got different modes of payments by customers, either by cash, by credit, and even recently by mobile money, mobile banking, and such like. So this device here is used to accept credit card for payments. And then we have got what we call the customer display or the poll display, where you see my mouse pointer is here. Remember, I said earlier that it is not that every of these devices must be present, but they may or they may not be there depending on the environment and the needs of that business environment. So this pole display or the customer display, it is a standing device that is used to deliver price of items, and also it can also be used for advertising or to display advertising information to a customer at the POS. The learner, maybe you have come across this at a supermarket or at a retail store. And then we may also have something called a tablet or an iPad EPOS. Here you can see where my mouse pointer is. We have got a tablet here. It's a portable computer that is used in addition to, instead of the traditional EPOS, to assist with business operations. This is suitable for such businesses requiring higher mobility or small stores with limited space. So it means this one here, the individual or the employee using it is able to move around while it is in use. Lastly, in retail systems, let us mention something about stock control. Stock control is also sometimes called the inventory control. Inventory control is the process of maintaining the appropriate quantity of stock so a business can meet customer demand without delay, while keeping the costs of holding stock to a minimum. So basically here, it's a system that is able to track which items are in, which ones have been sold, which ones are out of stock, and which ones need to be reordered. Because if these parameters are not monitored properly, then one thing is that customers may miss on the items they want, or at the same time, we may have goods or items getting expired in the shelves because maybe they are overstocked. So by using this system, we are able to track down items at every of these stages to ensure that there is that balance. Businesses dealing with physical products usually need stock to sell. The purpose of stock control is to make sure the business always has enough stock for their customers, while, on the other hand, balancing the amount spent on acquiring and storing the stock. Remember, it's also expensive because this stock takes space, and space is money, and that would impact the business. Though this might seem simple in theory, it can involve factors outside the business control, such as weather, economic issues, directives, and many more factors that can affect such. Stock control is important because it can be the difference between making a loss or making a profit. If done right, it keeps costs down while increasing your profitability on every sale. Thank you very much, and that is the end of our lesson for today, and expect more in part 3. But before I say goodbye, make sure that you subscribe if you haven't, and if subscribed, make sure that you have clicked your notification icon so that you'll be able to be notified when we will upload more content on the site. Bye bye and stay safe.